Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I cover nostalgic, obscure, or otherwise strange content. Today, I'm taking you back to something that I'm not going to lie, I loved as a kid. And when I say I loved, I mean back in the days of TiVo. Yes, I'm old. Back in the days of TiVo, I had this movie TiVo'd and would watch it probably every day for like a stretch of time. That movie, of course, is 2000's Disney Channel original, Life Size. If you don't remember, let me refresh your memory. Life Size starred a Lindsay Lohan, just off of Parent Trap fame, and Tyra Banks, in a movie about a Barbie doll come to life. I'm pretty sure it was a part of the Wonderful World of Disney series, back when that was still a thing. But yeah, this was a classic in my household, so let me take you through it. Gather around, get a drink, or a snack, or both. Let's go on a trip together. I don't know why I had to be so extra about it. It's just the mood I'm in today, I guess. So the whole movie starts out with an advertisement for Eve, which is this movie's version of Barbie.
It's fun to dress up. I look awesome.
There are many striking similarities. She's a classic overachiever.
Then pick a career for Eve. She does it all.
She's a humanitarian queen.
Remember, don't pollute our oceans.
She represents your Barbie dolls, your Bratz dolls, your Mycene dolls. Shout out to all the Mycene chicks out there, because that was my jam. Next, we see a group of preteen girls declining to buy said Eve dolls at a toy store.
I don't want a doll. I want something with microchips.
Oh, those middle school girls and their microchips. This is a running theme throughout the whole movie, that the whole concept of, like, a doll that's perfect and a role model for girls is kind of going out of fashion because kids these days, you know, but we'll get into more of that later. Next, we meet Casey. This is Lindsay Lohan's character, revealed in much the same way as she was in The Parent Trap. She's the quarterback for her school's football team. We love to see it. She is also a queen.
Go play with your dolls, K-Soid.
Get a life, wienerhead. I hate dolls as much as I hate you.
But there's two things that she hates. It's girly girl stuff and this teammate, apparently. She gets along with the rest of the team, but damn, do they have beef. The next player that becomes very important in this movie is Casey's dad. He is a typical dad in a kid's movie from the late 90s, early 2000s, which is to say he works too much. He's a big business lawyer and he's always at the office.
I miss Casey's game again.
But he's like a self-aware big business dad. He's like, oh, I miss my kid's football game. I suck.
Tomorrow's Casey's birthday, and I promised we'd have dinner, just me and her.
So it comes up in conversation that Casey, his daughter, her birthday's coming up, and it becomes very apparent that his female coworker has a thing for him.
That's so sweet. See, you are a great dad.
And then his male coworker, whose entire personality centers around being the guy that objectifies women, is like, dude.
She's only been here 6 months. Already she wants to cook for you.
A woman that wants to kiss you and stuff? How dare you? How dare you say no to that?
Drew's great. I'm just not ready. Okay?
Because, see, this guy's wife, Casey's mom, apparently died 2 years ago. This is another very important plot point.
You've been saying that for 2 years. You know, you need to loosen up, have some fun again.
And this guy's just like, how dare you not be over your dead wife yet? Go get a girlfriend, dude. So we've got a pretty normal setup for a, you know, preteen, tweeny bopper movie, if you will. Here's where the movie takes a little bit of a turn, though. Let me see if you notice, you know, where the shift in tone comes from.
Looking to bring back a lost soul? Try Holocaust Books of the Dead. Long believed to contain mystical powers.
Jesus God, what? This girl's like 12 years old. So Lindsay Lohan's character misses her mom very much and wants to bring her back to life. And she's shopping for books on the occult to help her reanimate a dead body.
Resurrection.
Disney Channel was off the chain back then.
Looks like we're both working late. What are you doing?
Researching necromancy.
Oh, nothing, just surfing.
That awkward moment when you're researching the dark arts and your dad walks in.
I should have been there. I'm sorry.
You were out sorry a long time ago.
So she's pissed at him for being big business dad and not going to any of her football games. And then the next day she's going to the bookshop and these girls who I guess she used to hang out with see her.
Ever since her mom died, she's totally ignored us. Yeah, like, get over it already.
Yeah, man, I mean, being sad about your dead mom, get over it already. Jeez. That's so harsh. But she goes in to buy this book. It's $150.
$150.
And she doesn't have that much money, so she just takes it and leaves an IOU. Still very illegal, but I guess it makes her feel better.
Oh, great. I'll never see her again.
So that night, she's setting up this altar on her birthday, like the badass emo witch she is, I guess. And then she has to go, you know, have birthday dinner and cake and stuff with her dad.
That mom could somehow come back.
Casey.
Maybe it can really work. I mean, the books say
Casey.
And she brings up this plan to resurrect her mom with her dad, which apparently they've talked about at great length before.
You remember what Dr. Jacobs said about accepting reality?
Yeah, he's a quack and has really bad breath. What does he know?
And then she's like, oh, Dad, you're such a killjoy. And then they start talking about memories of their mom.
Everyone in the stands was on their feet.
And Mom was cheering so hard she couldn't talk for a week.
Which is kind of sweet. But then she says this.
Remember that guy behind us kept yelling, down in front, down in front.
But I never took you off my shoulders, did I?
Which is funny because they're just like, yeah, that guy couldn't see shit. He totally regretted buying his ticket. But you know what? Family memory. We're so proud of it. And then his coworker, who totally has a crush on him, brings over some work files that he needs. And she comes in to give Casey a present.
This is Eve.
And what do you know? It's an Eve doll. Where is this going? And Casey's like really not shy about how much she hates the doll, which is just very rude.
Yeah, she's a real piece of...
Art.
You could at least try to pretend like you like it. But then, as moody teenagers do, she runs off to her room to summon a zombie back to life. And then the coworker lady comes in, she knocks her stuff over.
No! Don't touch anything!
She freaks out because the altar that she set up with all the stuff that she knocked over contains her mom's hairbrush with, I guess, her mom's hair on it. I guess she runs into the bathroom to, like, clean something off or whatever, and while that happens, the coworker sees the Eve doll just laying off to the side. And so she fixes her up, and she brushes her hair with the hairbrush. You can see where this is going. Some of her hair gets on the hairbrush, and Casey doesn't realize, so then...
Repeat the spell until the transformation is complete. Zamba Tarka Ish Tunebri.
The coworker leaves, and she does the spell.
Zamba Tarka Ish Tunebri. Zamba Tarka Ish Tunebri.
And surprise, the doll's alive.
You better watch it, lady. I hit 20 homers last season.
Good reflexes, Casey. Stranger danger. Although Eve didn't ask for this, on the other hand, so like...
You can't be.
I'm Eve, and you're my special friend.
It's all very dramatic.
Ah!
My ankle's bent.
So this line of dialogue suggests that Eve has some form of consciousness as a non-sentient doll, which is just a terrifying concept to me.
My mom, you're alive, not her.
Case? You out?
Dad, wait a second.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to explain this one to your dad, kid.
Who's that?
What?
Nothing.
How does he not recognize the difference in his 12-year-old child's voice and a grown woman's voice?
I said just split. I don't need anything. Take your time.
But he goes away. Eve is really perplexed by everything around her, in a good way.
Oh my gosh, the pictures move. This is super fantastic.
It reminds me of when I was little, I had an Allie and AJ Barbie set. And it was based off of whatever movie of theirs was out at that time. I think it's the one where they go to London.
Mary-Kate and Ashley are headed for London.
London?
I'll have to track down what movie that was and do a future video. But anyway, one of the little props that they came with was a laptop, a purple laptop. And they had these little sliding photos that you could slide into the laptop so that you could have different, like, screens pulled up on the laptop. Good times. And so Casey's dragging Eve along to the bookshop that she robbed the day before to try to send her in to obtain the book that will turn her back into a lifeless doll. Essentially now killing her or not. I don't know. I don't know what that would do, but it sounds like it wouldn't be fun for Eve.
This world smells so good.
I love Eve. She's like, cool, I can smell stuff now.
This is everyone's home. Please keep it clean.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, you know what's unbelievable, dude? Throwing your shit right in the walkway. Like, there's a trash can right there. Were you raised by bears, sir? Her dad finds her shoplifted book and goes after her.
In 4 days, I'm stuck with you forever. We're getting that book now.
Apparently, she's got 4 days to reverse this spell. Otherwise, Eve will be alive forever. Keep that in mind. So Eve goes into the store, asks for the book, and the shop owner's like, no, I never got that one in. I had the first volume.
A young girl took it.
I know who that is. She's right there.
Snitch.
You're the one who... Hey, stop!
So Casey takes off running, runs right out into traffic, almost gets hit by a truck. But good thing Eve is there to stop that car. Even though it had ample time, noticed her from a very far distance away and accelerated. He was making the active choice not to stop. Get that man on attempted homicide.
Casey, are you okay?
So the dad shows up, is like, oh my god, lady, thank you for saving my kid. And then Eve starts hitting on the dad like,
Are all the men here as handsome as you are?
and Casey passes out, which I feel like is fair. If a Barbie doll starts hitting on your parent.
There was this doll, and she came to life, and she was...
Hi, Casey.
So Casey's really struggling here. You gotta feel for her, being young and dumb and animating a plastic toy to come to life. We've all been there, right?
After Casey rests a bit, can we offer to drive you somewhere?
Let's go to the mall.
So Eve wants to go to the mall because Barbie dolls. So they roll down the top and they head off to the mall. The mall is where Eve rides an escalator for the first time, Buddy the Elf style, a full year before Elf came out.
Why don't you let me loan you some money and you can pay me back when your things arrive? It's the least I can do.
And so the dad's like, hey, because you saved my kid from being hit by a truck, how about I loan you some money?
And as far as the place to stay goes...
Wait, you're not thinking about...
We do have a guest house.
And then let you stay in our guest house for a few days.
Dad, you can't. That's Mom's old studio.
Brilliant idea.
What are you trying to do?
I've got to stay somewhere.
All right, Casey, you brought her to life. I know you didn't mean to, but you had to prepare for this. Or I don't really know how you prepare for this, but this is your doing. She's got to sleep somewhere. Eve picks out a bunch of things, including this green screen colored petticoat. Not petticoat. Petticoat is a underskirt thing. A peacoat? Is that what I'm trying to say? I think it's a peacoat.
Okay, dress me.
That does it. I'm out of here.
Awkward.
Eve's never dressed herself before.
Oh yeah, and Eve talks about herself in the third person, which I don't care for. So there's a shopping montage, and then they go to an Italian restaurant where Eve eats food for the first time.
Butter?
The dad offers Eve a secretary position at his work.
Wow, I can't even find a good secretary. I just fired my last one, the 4th this month.
I'm a great secretary.
I feel like if you've gone through 4 secretaries in a month, that might be a you problem, dude. Maybe you're just a bad boss. You ever think about that? So back at home, Casey's not having any luck finding the book that she needs to turn Eve back into a doll. Eve, on the other hand, is watching TV. Learning about life.
Sit back, relax.
Watching the shopping network. Casey decides to bite the bullet and tell her dad that Eve is a doll come to life.
I tried to bring Mom back to life, and the spell worked and all, but not on Mom.
That goes about as well as you would think it would.
Casey...
I knew you wouldn't believe me.
Oh, Dad, you never believe me when I say I brought my toys to life. So Casey's off to prove that Eve is in fact a Barbie doll. The next day, Eve goes to work with Dad, and after answering some questions for the onboarding questionnaire...
Your previous position?
Sitting?
She's given her desk. Oh, this is such an overused trope of like person who doesn't know how to use computer deletes all the files on the computer, but anytime I see it, it stresses me out.
Well, hello there.
Enter coworker who always hits on every girl.
Eve. I'm a star.
Starlight, star bright.
Ugh. He ask the dad if they're dating.
Man, you really took my move on suggestion to heart, huh?
Richie, I don't know what you're thinking, but there's nothing going on.
He's like, hey, so that's your new girlfriend, right? And the dad's like, nah, we're not dating. And then immediately after that, he's like got tension in his shoulders. So Eve, who was a massage therapist,
Massage therapist.
giving him a massage right in the middle of the office.
I don't really know if the workplace is the place for this.
Awkward.
You look awfully familiar. Have we met at the sports club?
I like that the coworker who gave Casey the doll in the first place is just going out of her mind. Like, this girl looks so familiar. So Eve sucks at office work. She's not good at a lot of things. Like, usually in these movies, when like a stranger from a fantasy realm comes to town, they just magically fix everything around them. Eve kind of has a harder time. She's kind of not nearly as perfect as she thought she was.
Francine, could you please call a cab for our Miss Eve?
And so the receptionist is just ready to send her home.
Where I come from, I am the perfect secretary.
And then Eve's like, I don't understand. I'm supposed to be perfect. And the receptionist is like,
If I looked half as good as you,
oh, come on. You're pretty and stuff.
I can't get this one guy at the office to even look at me.
And at the mention of an office crush, Eve is like, say no more. And that thing happens when, like, the girl who is not seen as conventionally attractive puts on makeup one time, and all of a sudden, she's a supermodel.
You've made a new woman out of me.
Remember, ladies, the only thing between you and being attractive is more makeup. If you want to wear makeup, that's fine. I'm not saying don't. I'm obviously made up today, but, you know, maybe don't teach young girls that they have to wear makeup, or men will find them disgusting.
Cab's here.
Ellen, is that you?
Francine, there's someone I want you to meet.
I love it. She's just like, sure, you destroyed the entire office and made my workday a living hell, but you put on makeup for me, so we're cool. You can stay. Casey goes to the toy store where Eve was purchased and finds out that every Eve has an authentication number to, like, prove that it's an authentic Eve and that it's one of a kind.
You mean every doll has this? Yep.
So she's like, this is the proof I need, because Eve, even though she's a human now, still has her little serial code on her foot, which, since she's a human, just looks like a really painful tattoo. I've seen people with tattoos on the bottoms of their feet, and I think they're really, really cool. But you've got to be, like, really hardcore to get them, right? Like, it's gotta hurt like hell.
We don't have to show him right now, do we? At least not until after tonight.
So Casey threatens to prove to her dad that Eve is, in fact, a Barbie doll. And Eve's like, at least give me this chance to go to this office party with a bunch of lawyers.
That nice man Richard invited me.
What?
I'm going with the creepy guy that hit on me all day while I was trying to do my work.
Well, they sure know how to make it in Sunnyvale.
Who, me? I wasn't made there.
No? Where?
Indonesia, but I was packaged locally.
Guy looks so confused. A human woman referring to herself as being packaged locally just has, like, rebooted his brain. More awkwardness ensues when Eve does not know social norms.
Oh no, it's Mr. and Mrs. Boring.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Boring. Because Eve cares about poverty and world hunger.
She talks about herself in the third person some more, and then she and the dad dance. And she's bad at it at first, but then in 2 seconds she gets really good at it. So good for her.
Yeah, she's something, isn't she? Indonesians. Ooh.
I repeat, ugh.
Every time I'm with you, I forget all about work and pressure and clients.
I forgot I even had a job. Thanks, Eve.
If you were staying in my house, I'd never let you out.
That sounds like you're an aspiring criminal. Also, now that I think about it, before there was this line,
well, let's just hope her self-defense skills are better than her secretarial skills.
What does that mean? I don't like the insinuation of what that could possibly mean. Everybody just knows this dude is a creep, doesn't want to do anything about it.
Why don't we get out of here, huh?
And then this dude's like, come on, Eve, let's get out of here. Because she saw that movie before and knows what to do. She slaps him.
Whoa.
Good for her. But then she gives him a lecture about how it's better to be yourself than to be a menace to society, I guess.
Richie, you don't have to act at all. Women will love you for just being yourself.
And then he's like, wow.
That's the nicest, most honest thing a woman's ever said to me.
That's the nicest thing a girl's ever said to me. I guess I'm not an asshole anymore. And then the band is taking requests, so Eve requests her theme song.
Eve's great, no matter where she goes.
And starts singing it.
Shine bright, shine bright, don't be shy, be a star.
Can you imagine this happening? Like you go to an office party and some random girl that doesn't even work there just starts singing about herself. And then to make it even more perplexing, everybody's into it. So the guy that this girl wanted to be made over for because he never noticed her is Richie, the creepy guy.
Believe me, this isn't a line or anything, but you really look very beautiful tonight.
You can do so much better, girl. He's like, wow, you have eyeliner on? I didn't even know your name before today, but now that you've got lipstick on, we should get married. And then Eve and the dad go home, and she's hitting on him super hardcore again.
There's only one thing missing to make it a perfect evening.
She's like, let's do a kiss, and then they almost do a kiss. And then Casey sees them almost do a kiss, and then the moment's over.
How could you?
Casey's really upset about it. The dad tries to talk Casey down.
Go away, I hate you.
It doesn't work. The next day, Casey is training for the big football game.
You dropped it again, Wienerhead.
That's it, Casey. You're benched.
Gets benched for being really hardcore about it. Jeez. And then Eve shows up in the green screen ensemble. If I had the energy, I would try to actually green screen something on there, but I probably won't when I'm editing this. So Eve tries to make things right with Casey, and Casey's like, look, Eve, you don't get it. Life sucks.
You don't know the first thing about being human.
You need to acknowledge the sucking of life a little bit more. She tells her about her mom dying. They have a moment. Back at the office, the coworker that gave Casey the doll is like,
There's something strange about her. I'm worried she's up to something. Maybe I'm just being jealous.
I'm really suspicious about Eve, but it could just be because I'm jealous, because you guys almost did a kiss last night.
It's nice to know you're jealous.
I'm not gonna date you or anything. I just like that you're jealous about it. Then Eve almost burns the house down cooking. Casey puts out the fire, and then while they're both sudsy on the floor, they have another bonding moment. And then they're like besties now.
And a really sweet smile.
Dad used to call it my 100-watt smile.
It's very cute.
I've hardly helped any girls yet.
Eve confides in Casey that nobody's buying the Eve doll anymore, and she feels like she's not helping girls.
First of all, you're already beautiful, so lose the sparkle and shine stuff. That went out of disco.
And so Casey tells her that she's too perfect. She needs to be more relatable.
I mean, you're a classic overachiever. Nobody's this good at everything.
And then the dad comes in and crushes the moment. Eve reminds the dad that he has to be there for Casey's final game.
Well, I'm sure when things slow down, you'll be at every game again. Because you're her biggest fan, right?
She's like, look, if you're not there, then you suck as a parent. Well, she doesn't say that, but she implies that in a very Eve-esque way. Next day, day of the big game. Final day before the magic is permanent, and Casey hears that a bookstore got in the books she needed to reverse the spell. Simultaneously, Eve finds out that the Eve dolls are about to be discontinued, and she's like, no!
I mean, now that we're friends and all, I can never send you back. You're part of the family.
But Casey, I just saw on the TV they're about to...
There's Mara, I gotta go.
So now Casey doesn't want to turn Eve back, but Eve wants to be a doll again so that she can save the brand? Because capitalism? I'm still not sure. I think it has something to do with she wants to help more girls, but like, couldn't she also help girls as like a real human person? I don't know. So Casey's playing in the big game. Her dad's not there. She's very sad. Her dad's in a big business meeting.
Ben, where are you going?
I'm going to a football game.
He walks out of the meeting. His coworkers are very proud of him. And then he tells his boss, hey, I don't care if I'm not gonna make partner anymore because I have to go to my kid's ball game. And everyone claps. Eve shows up at the game too, after seeing all of the Eve dolls being taken off of the shelf. And And the big moment comes, the final seconds of the game, and Casey's team loses. It's very sad. And so here's where her dad remembers that he is a dad in a Disney Channel movie. He goes down onto the field and he gives her a pep talk about how proud he is of her because she did her best. And they talk about her mom, and then she cries. And then Eve witnesses this and also cries, and she's like, damn, this is what crying is like. Now I've lived the whole human experience.
Where's Eve?
Oh, you mean that nice-looking woman? She just left. She asked me to tell you goodbye.
What?
So then they realize that Eve just took off and left because she went and, I guess, bought the book to turn herself back.
Yes, she said she found a book, got someone to read it to her, and she's headed home.
I love that they added in that little detail because it was almost like they got to that point in the script and realized that they had already specified that Eve couldn't read and didn't know how else to rectify the situation.
I can't read this.
Also, Casey makes up with the kid that she was beefing with.
Thanks, Mute. Thanks, Bruce.
She almost forgot his name and called him Wienerhead or whatever again. So Eve shows up at, like, I guess this is like the main office for Eve production or whatever. She walks down the hall to, like, the set where they shot all the commercials and stuff. I think you'll recognize this from the commercial in the beginning of the movie. Casey and her dad running after her, and Casey's dad is like looking at all these pictures of Eve on the wall as they're running down the hall. He's like, huh, you know, my kid might have been telling me the truth when she said that that girl that I'm into is a doll.
No, we'll never find her.
Found her. So they catch up with Eve, but it is in fact too late because Eve has already done the spell.
I can go back now, and everything that you taught me will be a part of all the dolls.
So is, like, the Eve doll, are they like hive-minded? Are they all Eve? How does the Eve doll's consciousness work? Because I've got questions.
Casey, they're about to cancel the doll. They need me back in Sunnyvale.
But we need you too. You can't just leave us.
Also, couldn't you just pitch new ideas to the company that makes the doll and then stay human anyway? So she says goodbye, everybody cries, and then she turns back into a doll in front of their very eyes. Oh yeah, and before she does, she shows the dad her serial number, and he's like, wow, I guess it must be true. She couldn't possibly just have a tattoo on her foot. But you do have to feel for this guy a little bit. Like, in no parenting book does it prepare you for this.
How about we put her someplace real special?
So now we flash forward a little bit of time. Business is booming for the Eve dolls. They're super popular and relatable now because of everything that Eve learned about being human. Casey catches back up with her mean friends from before.
That's a change.
A lot of things have changed.
Well, they sure have, partner.
It turns out the dad made partner anyway because his boss was like, wow, I really value somebody who blows off work to go to their kid's game. You can be a partner now.
Where do you want to go for your congratulations lunch? Oh, how about the new vegetarian place?
Things haven't changed that much.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot to mention this before, but the dad has like this vendetta against vegetarian food.
Wow. Real food.
Exactly. That's what I love about this place. None of that hip, trendy stuff.
As if food in general was just going out of style.
Mommy, look what I got.
Oh, honey, that's wonderful. Hi, I'm Eve. Show me your 100-watt smile.
Oh, that's what she said to Casey. And as if I already didn't have enough questions about Eve and how this whole Eve universe works, the movie ends on this scene of the whole cast in character dancing together, which messes up the timeline in several ways that I don't even have time to go into. And that's it. That's the end. That's the movie. All in all, I still have very fond memories of this movie. I think it is a very sweet movie. It's definitely a lot more thought out than a lot of other movies, particularly Disney Channel movies that we've talked about in the past. And I really just want to know if anybody else out there remembers this as much as I do. There must be, right? Because they made a life-size 2, which I haven't seen, but apparently it was terrible. So clearly they thought there was a market. So clearly other people know about this. So let me know what you think. Do you remember this movie from your childhood? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Tell me all that in the comments down below. But for now, I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. Everything you do to support this channel means the world to me. If you're new here and you're a fan of nonsense, maybe consider sticking around because I post nonsense all the time. And remember, my name is Avery. I'm a YouTuber if you say so, because thanks to you guys, this is technically a YouTube channel. Go be stars today.